we had we did the Raggedy Ann thing, but then at the end of the year party,
did the Raggedy Ann thing. That sounds so fucking stupid.
I can't help thinking, somewhere in the universe, there has to be something better than man. Has to be. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ascension to 10.
all right, here we are.
Whew.
We're back.
Yowzers.
Going for it. It was hardcore.
It's electrified that time.
It's electric.
Back.
What's happening,
Ahead of
Jan?
schedule. We're really cranking these out.
I know.
Not that it will be any different to the audience.
No matter. Anyway.
But you should know
It's
that.
funny. It's funny as like the episode, 2 or 3 episodes, and we're like, oh, we used to have always one, banked, and now all of a sudden we're like, getting one banked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, we're at this point, we're at 2 banked, right?
Yeah, technically, for a couple days. It's pretty good.
Back to our roots.
Roots, man, roots. Speaking of roots, we always joke about things that we try to do to make the podcast presentation better. And Jad and I both were talking like, our footage on the YouTube channel looks like a webcam. So I was like, oh, what can we do to what equipment do we have? We both have DSLRs. Is there something we can do to make it so we could make it look nicer? Well, I thought I found the solution. Jad found out that his software wasn't compatible, so we found this dongle that was supposed to work perfectly to just plug it in, and then you can use your DSLR as a webcam.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. I plugged mine in immediately. Something's not right. I was like, well, I can see video, so I was like, thumbs up, that's good. But it's literally recording, like, if you were looking at a camera, this back screen, like, it was telling me, like, what my shutter speed was and my aperture and all this other stuff. And, like, it was recording the screen with my face. So it was facing me, but it had the back screen. And I was like, what is happening? So we're using webcam still.
It's just, I'm wondering if that's a glitch or if that's a feature, because what possible reason could there be to need to broadcast
why would you want the output? Why would you want your output to be that?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So
I
don't know.
Yeah, it's, how you can screen capture your computer, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this item thing that you bought its sole purpose was to screen capture the screen on the camera, because what other way could you do that other than
this stupid thing has a second output, so it's like you could plug it into a monitor so you could see what you look like. It's like it's gonna do that same thing with
oh man,
all the crap on it. So I don't know.
Awesome. Well, you brought up my thing when we first started the show. I was, we were thinking back then what kind of equipment we were going to gather, and we talked about using our DSLRs back then. So I have this Nikon camera from several years ago, and as it turns out, Nikon has this free software that you can download onto your computer, and it acts like it just functions as the capture card, or the computer does, but the software talks back to the camera and stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's free. I just have to download it. No worries. All good. I'm going to get some good quality footage here. I get the cable, get everything. All I needed was a cable. So I got that, and didn't work. Obviously, instantaneously didn't work. And then I even got a power adapter cable, so I wouldn't have to just rely on the battery for the camera. So I could plug this baby in, have it just run off of just normal power, plugged it in the computer, blank, nothing. Didn't even turn on, seemed like.
Yeah.
And did some digging, and Nikon lists all these cameras that are supported by this software. Every single camera they've ever made, with the exception of my camera, wasn't on the list. And it's not like
that's amazing.
It's not like this was just some vending machine camera, you know.
Yeah.
It's some kind of middle of the road type of camera. It's just it seems like they blatantly kept this one off the list, because I think it's a 5200 D5200, and they had D5100, 5300, 5400, but they skipped 5200 completely. And
that's awesome. It's probably just a little omission, but whatever. Yeah.
So that's a mini typical day there.
Yeah, for sure.
And combined with Spenny's, where it's not like he just, because you were telling me this before, you did some research and you chose that one specifically, that dongle.
Well, yeah. It was supposed to. I mean, I looked up the software we use. Like, Riverside is the app that we use to do all this podcast stuff, and it was telling me, yeah, you need to get a capture card, and then you can set up your DSLR. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll do that. Well, JK, it's a specific one, and you have to get it, and then it turns your thing in and whatever.
I can imagine you, because obviously you're gonna send it back, right, for a refund, and I can see you forgetting to do that and getting outside the return window. And ending up with 2.
It was on Amazon, so I'd have like 2 months or whatever it is.
Okay.
Yeah. JAD, we have to stop recording because my microphone is the MacBook one and not the real microphone. So,
oh my God. Yeah, we're really getting back to our roots here. That was awesome. Back to how we started with just nonsense technical issues.
I mean, I can't even think of the last time I ever let that happen. Like, it's set up on my headphones because we have this little thing that we have to plug in, and I was using the internal microphone from the computer instead of the giant mic in front of me. So those first 6 minutes or something might sound a little different than these, but sure.
Nice. Epic.
Yeah.
That's what you came here for, folks.
Yeah. Non-stop entertainment.
So I have a small story that literally just came to my mind. Not sure if it's funny or not, but so I just finished watching this movie. My wife and I were watched it together on the couch, and afterwards there was a little bit of time between when we were going to start recording and when the movie finished. So I just threw up YouTube, and for some reason right away the thing that popped up was 4K nature lions and big cats and stuff. And so our dog was sitting on the couch, and sometimes she likes to watch animals, so I threw it up, and it's exactly what you'd expect, just B-roll of cats and stuff, drone footage, and some light inspirational music in the background, right. And the same about 4 to 5 seconds of birds chirping, continuous repeat. And it's out in the African plains, right? No trees in sight, and it's these warbling birds just going and
awesome.
Okay, so whatever, the Penny, she perked up right away and she was watching, and so it's all cute and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was joking with Sarah, saying that it started off with these 4 majestic male lions perched on a rock, and the camera was below them, so they were above the world, right, looking out on their domain and stuff.
Nothing but sky behind them.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Nothing but sky behind them. They're on a giant boulder rock thing. And I was joking with Sarah, saying, yeah, that looks great, but it's probably in the middle of some zoo in a city or something, right? Just framed it, and so like people are throwing beer cans and shit, and like the habitat, this majestic footage.
Well, that would be why you kept hearing the same birds over and over.
Right, exactly. But that then made me think about the last time, or one of the perhaps the last time I was at a zoo, and that was back in high school, and I was there. So I think this was 2005. I was there during
That's
the
the last
summer.
time you went to a zoo? 2005?
I think so. No, sorry, I went to a zoo in China, but this may have been the last zoo I was at in the States. So I was actually there for this drumline activity. So I was in this drumline called Sufudu for a while, and for some reason we did a performance at the zoo, and so we were there for most of the day.
For the animals?
There was some kind of event there.
So it wasn't for the animals.
I think it was for anyone within earshot. So we were there for most of the day, and I think we were also doing a photo shoot there for some reason. I don't know, but we had time to kill out in the parking lot. And this was around that same time that you and I and all of our friends got really into Ultimate Frisbee. And I had literally just gotten in the mail this light up Frisbee so we could play at night and stuff. It was super cool. And green LEDs that snaked down the whole thing and stuff. And I was pumped. I was so pumped about this.
I remember this. Yeah.
And so I had it with me there, and I was, throwing it around with a few of the friends. And one of the other drumline members, he strolls up and he goes, "Oh, what's that? That's pretty cool." He threw it to him. He didn't intend to do this. I know he didn't, but he just fucking launches this thing, and it goes over the fence into the zoo.
Perfect. It's gone.
And so we watched it sail across this, this giant fence and stuff. And so we went in and talked to the closest zoo employee, right? And who was he looked like he was a college kid, right? So I was in high school again, but I told him the situation. Hey, we were playing Frisbee out in the parking lot. It went over the fence. I'm not really sure where, but along that wall. And he goes, "Oh, well, all right, man. I'll do you a solid. I'll go and look for it personally." And so I was sweet. He comes back.
Dude,
about
what a
5
nice
minutes
guy.
later. Yeah, he comes back about 5 minutes later. Bro, that went into the rhino pen. No one goes in the rhino pen. He said nobody goes in the rhino pen.
Nobody does, man.
And
that's where people go to die.
I said, "Oh, obviously, right. So is there, what are you telling me here?" And he said, "It's gone, kid." So
that's awesome.
And so I was bummed, man. I was so bummed. And
that's a total bummer.
Yeah. So we
you didn't even get to use the lights, right?
Use the lights.
You forgot to use the lights. You got LED lights.
And
this is back in the day where you have to order something and it took a week.
Spenny, that is what I was almost exactly verbatim in my head going to say, because this was 2005. If you wanted a novelty product thing like that, you had to find things like this by searching for lightupfrisbee.com kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. And order it directly from that website.
Whatever the place was. Yeah.
So, credit card information just floating around on the on the internet, all these websites from where you would want something. Okay. So this was before the show. So I'm all bummed out, right? And we do the show and stuff, and it was great. Pack up, leaving, and we leave through the main entrance, the front main entrance. Yeah. And I'm walking by, and I see this kid's hut guard shack thing, and there's my Frisbee just sitting in there. in his guard shack.
He got you.
He got me good.
Did you try and get it, or you just said screw
no? The guy who threw the frisbee said that he would buy me another one.
Yeah. We used to play Ultimate a lot, and it was always at night. I don't know why we decided that was a thing. We used to always meet either Pioneer Park, which is or at the middle school in Brandon, and it was always at night. And then we'd get the light up frisbee, and then we'd do fucking play.
So I mean, eventually
just run for an hour.
I know,
man.
So I did get it replaced, and so I think we used that second one for, some night activities like that. I do remember one time when we were playing, it was rainy and stuff, and I don't know. We all just went hard, right, at Ultimate. Of
course,
it just all got really competitive for some reason, and I remember going for just, I don't know if you call them a pass. I can't even remember if that's the right term, but someone threw it to me, and the wind took it, and my eyes were just locked on this thing. I was sprinting for my life, and I came to, I looked down, and I was 2 feet in front of the bleachers going as fast as I possibly could. And I had no time to really consciously do anything. But so I did end up slipping in a mud puddle that was right at the foot of the bleachers and slid full force, right? Full velocity, terminal velocity into those bleachers. And I smacked my back against the, what would be the first bench of that bleacher set. That was the first and only time I've ever had the wind knocked out of me.
Yeah. Dang.
I thought I was dying.
Luckily for that off the charts bone density, apparently it applies to your ribs too.
I know. So I was fine. I was a little bruised, but totally fine.
Man.
So anyways, that story just came to me, and I'm kind of glad it did, because I had nothing coming into this episode. No. And so segues to this movie, because I have nothing to say about this movie. For maybe once in our show, I have nothing to say.
Well, this is Jad and I both were talking about. We were texting each other before this. So this was a fan recommendation from our friend Zach. He said to check it out because it wasn't the best movie, and I agree, it wasn't the best movie. But we were both kind of struggling with, like, it's not good, but it's not bad. But it's like I still found it entertaining. Like, it wasn't
totally.
So, this is another one where it's not like Bigfoot one, but this one, at least we can talk about some stuff. I mean, there's a couple of things, like the last 20 minutes kind of, I feel like, really took a turn. So, like, the whole movie builds up to this, like, Black Adam character. He's basically indestructible. He's the strongest thing on Earth. Like, nothing can beat him. Kicks the crap out of it. Somehow this Justice Society, or whatever they're called, says, you're too powerful. We need you to go back into hibernation, because he got woken up. And he literally just gives up his power. They put a breathing tube in him. They put him underwater in suspended animation. And then the next second, this giant super enemy powerhouse shows up, and they're like, son of a bitch, I could really use Black Adam right now.
So, okay, yes, exactly, all that. So before we get into it, though, this movie is exactly why we've never done a modern superhero movie, because it's just not what we're trying to do here. Because any superhero movie, even the great ones, we can find things to dunk on. But when we're talking about superheroes and magic and shit, what's the point, right? I mean, unless the dialogue is kind of just throwing us, throwing us layups and stuff. It's just, how are you going to dunk on? it has to be written in this formulaic way. And so,
yeah. There was the two tidbits I have is this actually, so it grossed $67 million opening weekend. And that was actually the most that God, what's this guy's name? Dwayne Johnson. That's like the highest grossing opening weekend of his career. So it passed 60 million from Fast and the Furious and then Hobbs and Shaw.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, okay. So this did make a lot. The budget was 195 million and it made 392 worldwide. So
fine,
I guess.
Because I remember hearing, did this just get a ton of hate? Because I kind of remember hearing that from just in general, like people hated this.
Yeah, it did.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I mean,
there must be something I'm missing because I didn't look any. I mean, I heard that, but I didn't look up anything. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, it was a pretty good movie. I don't know.
I know, right? And I think the fact, so, okay, well, as we've discussed in the past, we don't claim to be authorities on movies, right? We're just here to laugh at some stuff, right?
Right.
But that being said, we dunk on a lot of movies, right?
Yeah.
We go hard on things.
Yeah.
And the fact that neither one of us can get on this hate bandwagon is weird to me.
Yeah. I mean, that was when I was watching this, the things that I was thinking of, I was like, well, in the beginning, like this Black Adam character just doesn't listen to anybody. He's kind of emo, like does his own thing, doesn't listen to anybody. And then like there's this Atom Smasher character. Like,
okay, so
okay. Let's talk about Atom Smasher.
Okay, so here, okay,
yeah. Okay.
Here's one more thing that I'll preface here.
Okay.
This was really entertaining from a visual perspective, from a superhero movie perspective, where the hero is kind of an anti-hero and you kind of figure out why as it goes on, but still he's blowing people up and stuff, and that's just not how normal superheroes act, right? He's just intentionally killing everybody he can. Yeah. And it looks cool while doing it. I think one of Zach's problems with this was that he moved too fast, or it looked like he moved too fast. And I don't know. I think that's exactly what he's supposed to look like, right?
Well,
and it didn't
Superman
look bad,
moves just as fast, right? I mean, yeah, I think one of the things that was actually really cool is like when you first meet him, like he gets released from his little whatever. He was locked away and then magic words were said and then he was released from his prison, this stone prison. But he like gets out and like he's fighting all these mercenaries that are trying to get this stone crown that has magical powers from demons. But like he is moving super fast and then like everything else around him is in slow motion. And it's just kind of this cool, like he's just kind of cruising and turning things and like throwing things back at people. And I was like, this is like Matrix style, but looked smooth and cool. It wasn't like you're getting wavelengths or waves past your
there were some things that looked cheesy, but overall it looked pretty darn good. And when the movie is about a person that can grab missiles out of the air, right? Or just kind of flick them to a different direction so that they blow up one of the other person's teammates. I don't know. That's entertaining. If you just take it at that value, which there's no other way to take it. There's no other reason to take it any other way. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of be entertained, you know?
Yeah.
And he moves fast. So why would you want a hero that can flick bullets and stuff move slow, right? He should move as fast as possible.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, it was. So one thing that I will say that just makes me laugh is the fact that this magic stone. So the premise of the beginning is there's this old king who is obsessed with black magic and like demon power, and on Earth they have this stone that's called Eternium. Of course, it has some dumb name like that. And the whole point of it is that he's going to make this crown made out of Eternium, and he's going to activate it, and it'll release all these demons from the underworld to give him power, and he'll be the ultimate champion, as they call it. And so Black Adam is basically the anti of that. That's what you're made to believe, that he's the hero that's going to come and stop this king, and it ends up being a bunch of wizards get together.
Cast forth by wizards.
And you see Black Adam and the crown, and then everything blows up, and for 5,000 years, neither have been seen.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was neat that they, this was framed in an Earth, right? This clearly doesn't exist because it has these old ancient cities that are just not a thing. And it's
right.
So it's not like it's trying to fit in these characters and people into what we know.
You're right.
Right. And are familiar with, like all the Marvel movies, which I'm not hating on those. I just think it's easier to tell a story when the audience doesn't have to try and fit it in something that's familiar.
Right.
Right. But so, I mean, it's all cool, right? It's the first act is all just cool because it's this badass superhero that doesn't take any shit.
Yep.
And he does what he wants. And then act 2 starts and it's these weird other random superheroes, right?
Well, yeah,
this is where it does.
It's like it was like the cheapo version of the Justice League. It was like the throwaways that they had. There's like the grandpa that's soon to be retired. There's the hot shot still trying to make a name for himself, and then there's like, you know what? We just got these 2 teenagers. Yeah, one is nepotism because his uncle was also some superhero who happens to be Henry Winkler.
It's like, what? It's unclear if the suit makes him a superhero or if he is the superhero.
Yeah, if he has the power.
The thing is about this, so I know nothing about DC superheroes and stuff. Maybe these are all just people or characters within that realm that are super obvious, or maybe even a bit more esoteric, but are cool to the DC fans. But in this context, it's all of a sudden there's 4 more superheroes on the planet that you just kind of, that they spend 2 lines of dialogue explaining what they do, and that's it. And then this Atom Smasher kid, and then this nanobot girl. It's who cares about
Cyclone? I didn't understand what the heck she actually did. Like in Atom Smasher, like I kind of understood the fact that he's probably super strong, but like they were just talking like Cyclone, she causes chaos and stuff, and I was like, what? What's that?
This is almost. I'm going to try and quote the movie, but it's something like this: evil doctor injected nanobots into her when she was 15, and now she can become a tornado. And so, here's the thing: that sounds really dumb. It is really dumb.
Yeah.
And those two, the 2 kids, are part of this Justice Society. The whole Justice Society was dumb, but at least it was a bit different because they were the good guys, but they were actively trying to go against the hero that
right?
But then they reveal that he's not a hero, but they're still just kind of cock blocking him from doing what he's trying to do, which is try to be good, but in his own way, and it's just annoying. And then this Atom Smasher kid is just in the background the whole time.
He's always like 30 seconds behind the rest of the crew because he's really small, and then he can make himself just ginormous, and that's really his power, is to get huge, and then he just smashes stuff.
Yeah,
but
it's things that, so things like this in movies they annoy me when they waste runtime on characters that don't matter and don't contribute.
Right.
Especially when it's scenes like it's the Nano Girl and the Atom Smasher are chilling on their ship and they're getting to know each other, and that relationship contributes nothing to the movie and the narrative.
Right.
And I hate that.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. Yeah, that was really frustrating. And it was also this, so when they were making this introduction of all the people, all I could think about was our movies when we were doing the Raggedy Ann. Because it literally, they're showing footage of like Black Adam just destroying stuff on the screens, and all I was thinking of is the Evil Corporation.
Yep.
The Evil Corporation, like, we got to take
Fabio
him down.
Evil Corporation.
Mufa Fabio Evil Corporation. Yeah. And so it was just in 8th grade we were making films with some bad people, with bad guys, and the Mufa Panissa Evil Corporation.
Stay tuned. That will be an episode that we review. So stay tuned to that.
Yeah. But then it was those two characters really were the throwaway ones. I actually ended up really liking Kent, who was this Doctor Strange.
She's a bird person
with a gold mask.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he kind of had the same, right?
Yeah.
So he could manipulate kind of how time and space work and kind of lock people in. And
so I am. This is why I'm curious about. I'm not curious enough to look this up because I really don't care. But were you telling Brian and I once that you haven't seen any of the Marvel movies?
Yeah. The only one I've seen Iron Man's. I have not seen any of the Avengers, and I've seen some Spider-Mans, and I saw Doctor Strange, the first one.
Okay. I'm curious about if these are actual characters or not, or if they're making these characters up, because the gold helmet guy is the exact same, does the exact same stuff as Doctor Strange.
Literally does. That's why I was like,
the guy with the hawk person, he is the exact same as, I think, Hawkeye, or no, Falcon or something.
Nighthawk, whatever. Yeah.
The big dude, the Atom Smasher, is just Ant-Man. Big, does the exact same stuff. Nanobot girl, she's on her own. She's on her own.
She's rogue.
She's rogue. And so,
well,
in some ways,
she's like X-Men. She's like, what's her name?
Oh, the Storm.
Storm.
Storm person. So now I get that. I mean, between the two, there's probably hundreds of characters, right? And they're obviously have overlap. But this was so clearly just a like Kmart version of the Avengers.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, like, who is similar to Black Adam? Would it be Thor?
I guess, yeah. Well, here's another thing, Spenny.
Because he's like literally like the only person, like no matter who came at him, he could destroy them. So
yeah. So here's another thing. There are movies called Shazam. I haven't seen them, but I saw a trailer for the second one that's coming out.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure it's DC. And the character says Shazam or something, and he becomes a huge, unstoppable person.
Yes.
And the magic words for this are Shazam, for this guy to become a giant superhero.
Well,
so what is this? I don't. What are we doing
also, little factoid: Captain Marvel has to say Shazam to get their power. So
okay, so it's just a buzzword, huh?
Just a buzzword. The buzzword. I did read that they were connected in some way. They're actually, I think Black Adam's supposed to be the arch enemy of Shazam. But
all right, cool.
Why would you say your enemy's name to get your power?
Must be that wizard council or something.
Must be.
They only have one. They have their own buzzword. They only wake up when it's Shazam time.
I guess.
So honestly, I don't know what else to say. That was. Yeah, it's entertaining. It looks good. It looks good in 4K. I can tell you that.
I always have a question for you, and it's not really related to this movie, but so you have a soundbar that has Dolby Atmos in it.
Yeah.
Can you actually get it? Because you have really high ceilings, so I was always curious if that effect kind of falls away because your ceilings are so high.
It does make it difficult. Sometimes I do hear things above me, but it's more so the two surround speakers are good in terms of making it so I can hear things behind me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the vaulted ceiling where my TV is just makes it really hard. Like,
yeah. Little side. The only other thing, so there's a couple little things that I'll just say that were kind of silly, and it's towards the end. So Black Adam, the Justice Society decides they say you're too powerful, and you finally learn that Black Adam is not actually the person who way back when was like this hero, but it's actually his son, and his son is like this champion for these people that have been oppressed to defeat this king. And to save his dad, he gives his power to his dad. But right when he gives his power to his dad, the king has assassins kill him. So the child dies in his arms as basically Black Adam is getting his power. And so it reveals like he may have not been as good of a person as we thought, because his son was actually the person that was really good and kind of the champion, as they keep saying, for these people. And they think that they flash back to him and the crown, and he actually wanted the crown to have ultimate power. And that's when the wizards are like, no, you can't have that. And then they lock them both in a vault to be released. But that's you get to see that he decides that, yeah, you're right. Like, I can't handle this power, so you guys can put me away. So they go to this, like, I don't know, Antarctic, North Pole place that's ice, and they fly there, and then they go underwater in this ice water, and then there's just this base, and he gets put in suspended animation, and then it pans over, and there's like 80 different people in the same space, so implying like they just take superheroes off the market.
Or super villains, I guess.
Super villains, yeah, I guess. And so yeah, they do that, and then literally the next thing is this the evil guy gets the crown and basically raises the power from the demons and comes alive, and the Justice Society is like, oh crap, like this would have been a great time to have Adam.
We messed up.
And he comes to power, and the whole point is like he's not supposed to sit on the throne, and he ends up sitting on the throne. But then these zombies, these stupid devil zombies come out, and it's just like how long have these demons been planning this attack and just waiting to unleash hell on earth? And it's just these like skeletons that literally you just swat at them with a fly swatter and just keep destroying them. And it was just like super terrible CGI, like flaming skeletons that kept popping up.
That was one of the few things that looked bad.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like they threw that together at the end.
Why is that? It's like every movie that we've ever reviewed, or like even Cosmo Ball, like everything looked really nice, and there's that one scene where it just looked like it was
they had the intern
video game
or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
but the only other thing too is that at the end there's this little boy who's been like supporting Black Adam, and he's there to like raise up the community to fight back against these zombies. And he's just like, it's 12 people in a room. He's not even yelling. He's just saying, we gotta support our team and let's fight. And then he does this little
triangle
Triforce
thing.
He's right. Let's do it. And then they just come around the corner and start smashing people, smashing zombies. And then I don't know. That's kind of it.
Yeah.
Putters out real fast.
Yeah, it really does. And yeah, then there's a teaser at the credits. Did you watch the credits thing?
Oh, I did.
Where
I forgot.
Superman shows up and it's, I don't know, cross what do you call it when the crossover?
Mm-hmm.
It certainly made it seem like they were going to make another one. But I'm wondering if because they got so much hate on this one, if they just canned the whole thing.
Well, I know that Dwayne Johnson said that they're parting ways, so they're not going to do another Black Adam. Or if they do on it, he's not going to be in it. So,
you know, what was interesting to when they were doing flashbacks to when they revealed that The Rock was actually the dad and not the champion. Yeah, it was funny to see him CGI'd as a normal dude.
That was not a normal dude. They CGI'd his face on. They hired another actor for all those scenes that was skinny. And so they had to practice doing the same scenes, and then they would mirror their face in his the.
Well, I mean, that's what body. I mean. It was, but
yeah.
Seeing him not huge was funny.
Yeah, it's true.
Kind of weird.
I almost felt it almost felt like his bald head was distracting. This Black Adam, or maybe it was his suit because it cut so low. Like, I don't know. There was something about it.
Well, it did seem like he was bulging out of his suit in a fat way, you know, like he was muffin topping his the top of his suit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's not much else to say on it.
Sorry, I don't know. I hope we didn't disappoint here because
we do have to give this a score.
Yeah,
because we have failed that recently. So this is the Ascension to 10 podcast. We rate on a 11-point scale. Ascension being the greatest thing ever. Oh no, Ascension being the worst thing ever, and
that's why I've given so many of them
out. Do you have a number for this yet, Jed?
Look, this was suggested for us to just clown on this whole thing, right, and dunk it into the ground.
I know.
Adam smashed this into oblivion. Look, I had fun. This was one of the better movies I've watched in a while.
I too. Yeah.
This was a 6.9.
Dang. I was at 6.2.
Classic.
Well, I was at 6.2 for a lot of the same reasons. My bench for this, and what I kept thinking of is Bright, like that same level. I like this a little bit more. It was a little more entertaining. I think that was 5.8 or 5.7. I can't remember.
Yeah, I like this better. This to me was the same as 13th Floor, which you got pissed about.
Stupid. I can't believe you. There's no there's no way 13th Floor is a 6.9. I know you got fixated on a couple little things on that movie, but God.
I don't even remember what, to be honest. I don't know why I thought that was so cool.
Oh, of course.
Oh, it was because they actually did the simulation hypothesis correctly. That's why.
Yeah.
Before its time. Right. Well, at the same time as Matrix, but Matrix did it a different way. So, anyways, and Alien and Alien Project. So I stand by this.
That's fair. No, I'm not. I won't talk anything bad on the score you gave. This is good. Yeah, and it was a great film. Unless I'm missing something.
So yeah.
Unless I'm not
and
so in.
Yeah. Woot also said we should put it on the list.
Our friend Derek. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're missing something. Maybe we're just in the right mood for it. But I found myself really. I had to stop watching it a few times because I had to watch it in segments. But I was like, God, I don't want to stop watching.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was not looking forward to it at all. But then it kept going. I was waiting for it to be bad. And maybe in that frame of mind, it was way better because if you went into this thinking it was going to be, this is so great. The Rock is finally a superhero and stuff. This is going to be awesome. I suppose it could be disappointing in that frame of mind, but I don't know.
It's pretty good. Maybe it really is just that fact that it's new. Like if this was the same film 20 years from now, maybe it would be closer to Earth Girls Are Easy. I don't know.
No.
Who knows?
Well,
but
yeah, this was episode 40, by the way. That's a lot of episodes.
Let's go.
Well, 43.
I think we're like 2 weeks away from actually a full year of doing this.
When your reunion?
3 years. Yeah.
Are we finally going to do it in person?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. That's in the works.
We'll get right on top of that.
Happen.
But we'll have to think of something for that episode whenever it comes.
Yeah, potential for some specials coming your way.
TBDDD.
For reasons that will become clear later. But there might be some episodes might look different here moving forward for a short time.
Yeah, there might be some.
We're not going away.
Might be some guest stars.
Yep.
Just an FYI. Could be some surprises.
Might be guest stars. Might be flashbacks. Might be
It's true.
pulling
Best.
things from the vault. Might be yeah.
See if we can get that true episode 1 minted finally.
Yep.
We asked about it. I don't know. That kind of fell off the face of the earth. So might have been
We
lost.
asked about it. And, yeah, it could be.
might have been lost in the formatting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Anyways, yeah. Stay tuned though.
Yeah,
We're not
and
going
it's,
anywhere.
yeah, and as always, you can find us at ascension to10.com. You can email us at boys@ascension to10.com with movie recommendations like this or the previous week or the week before. I think we've done 3 in a row. But you can also find us on socials, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Ascension, the number 2 TEN. And then we already have a YouTube that is Ascension to 10 podcast, where we put out full length episodes. And then we also have some shorts on there of some content. And we continue to do that.
That's right.
Jad, I do have a movie that we could try
Okay.
if you're up for it.
Okay.
For the next episode, and it's in theme since we've been doing we've done 2 superhero movies. This is kind of a superhero movie. I don't know if it's technically sci-fi or not. It might be just action, but we're gonna do The Phantom from 1996.
Is that Chris O'Donnell?
Billy Zane.
Oh. I swear there was some that just made me think about the guy who played Robin, Batman and Robin. Wasn't he something else? Maybe not.
Well, I mean, we can look up and find out. His number one thing that pulls up on IMDb for Chris O'Donnell is Batman and Robin.
Okay.
Oh, Vertical Limit is what he's also known for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one too, actually.
We saw that. Did you go to that birthday party? With Howie?
Yeah.
Yep. We went to go see the movie.
He had a December birthday, so he always got good movies for his birthday.
Yep.
Because we saw Lord of the Rings. We saw the first Lord of the Rings with him, and then we saw Vertical Limit. I'm trying to think. There might have been another one. But
I have a very clear memory of that night seeing Vertical Limit. I don't know who it was, but one of us kept calling it Critical Limit, and he was getting so pissed off about it because he was so pumped for that movie.
Yeah, that doesn't. Him getting pissed off is the least surprising thing of the whole thing.
Critical Limit was awesome.
That reminds me of he was one of our good buddies growing up, but I remember in 6th grade he was making fun of me for something, and I came back at him with like nice haircut or something, and he literally didn't talk to me the rest of the day because I made fun of his haircut, and I was like, oh, okay,
bro. Alan, friend of the show, at one point in 5th grade, we were both playing Zelda for N64, right? Ocarina of Time. This is the hottest thing right?
Right.
And we were both playing it, and we were at different stages and stuff. And Howie was this PlayStation purist. He would not even hear about the N64 and those cartridges and stuff. He thought that was the way of the past, right? And that the PlayStation, because it had
compact disc is the future, man.
CDs. He wouldn't even listen to us talk about Zelda. And I remember so clearly one time, this was right before school started, and Alan came up to me and he said, "Hey, I got to tell you something, but we got to go around the corner." And I goes, "Oh, what is it? What's going on?" And Howie was standing there. He said, Alan made up some excuse or something. And he said, he was telling me about how his older brother had beat Gandalf or whatever, or whoever the boss was, and Ganondorf in Zelda. So he beat the game, and Alan was jazzed about it. And he was telling me the secret about how you do it. And then Howie walks up and he goes, and we were whispering and stuff. And Howie said, "You guys are talking about that game, aren't you?" And then he did talk to us for the rest of the day.
That's awesome. I don't know why.
Man.
That was back.
Holy smokes. And then the four of us went on to make Raggedy Ann.
We all made Raggedy Ann. He also got, it was a common trick, because in 8th grade we did the Raggedy Ann thing, but then at the end of the year party
did the Raggedy Ann thing. That sounds so fucking stupid. Okay, we've been kind of dropping hints throughout this whole process, but we made a movie called The Autobiography of Miles Davis. And it's about two government agents that have to rescue Raggedy Ann from the Mufa Fabio Evil Corporation. So I'll just leave it at that. Mufa Panissa
Evil Corporation. Did you guys even have names?
We were Gemini and Gemini.
Oh, Gemini and Gemini, of course.
So we did that in 8th grade. And you know what? Okay. There was maybe one time where the four of us were actually in the same place to shoot a scene. It was the last scene. And because you were always going off to swimming and stuff, and then we were all just doing different things. So that entire movie was just snapshots of the four of us, or like three of us,
two or three of us. Yeah.
All at each other's house doing these scenes and stuff. And I edited this thing on a VCR, because I had to we had those camcorders with the small 8mm tape, I think. And I had to then record that onto a VHS tape so that I could edit the whole thing on my VHS. And I was just having two different tapes going on at the same time, like pausing, starting, rewinding, recording over what I just did. And I gotta say, it came out so good.
Yeah, you did a great job. Pretty impressive.
For just kids making a fucking movie about Raggedy Ann. I don't know. And then I put
the title credits might be my favorite thing too.
Yeah. Yeah, the title credits were us writing it out live in a Word doc, and
it was a black screen, wasn't it, with white letters?
Yeah.
So I don't know how you did that.
Shoot, I don't know now. But
it was cool.
Howie knew some trick to make a copyright symbol. R with the circle.
Yeah.
And so when we were spelling out our names, we intentionally misspelled them and stuff. But he did this keyboard trick to make Robbins start with the trademark.
Yeah.
Symbol.
It lost it.
I don't know. So, man, gave away the whole thing. So anyways, the point being is at some point when I was living in Nashville, I came back home, found those tapes the original. And so I couldn't find the VHS cut of it, but I found the original footage and recorded the whole thing and put it up on YouTube, but then pulled it. And now I got to put it back so that we can actually do a review of it and the audience can see. So
well, we got to upscale it too.
Yeah, you got to upscale 4K. It to 4K. Let me digitize that first.
Maybe we need to redo it shot by shot.
That is a project for mid 30-year-olds living in different states. They don't even know the whereabouts
of one of them. That's awesome.
One of the great disappointments in my life, I feel like, is eventually we found a way to contact him, right? Mm-hmm. And we told him about this. We sent him the link to the re-edited whole thing, and his response was nothing else. I thought it was going to rebuild this bridge that was never burned or anything. It was just kind of, it didn't surpass
lost
time,
contact,
right?
And it was just
and
I don't know.
It's just so bummed about the fact that didn't spark anything.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Howie, if you're listening somehow, if you somehow know about this, reach out.
Yeah. We'd love to hear about it. Hear where you are, what you're up to.
That's right.
Man, I don't know. I don't have anything else.
Yeah, that was a bit of a tangent, wasn't it? I don't know how we got there. But
well, we were at about 30 minutes, and somehow we're almost at 50 minutes.
Nice.
So
let's go.
Shuffling around. So
started with no plan. Talked about Raggedy Ann.
That's how we do the best. That's how we do our best work around here. All right. Well, again, if you have any movie recommendations, we certainly appreciate them. Takes the pressure off us trying to think of movies that we want to look at. But next week, The Phantom, or next episode, The Phantom. So check it out, and we'll go from there. As always, he's JAD. I'm Spenny. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome to Ascension to 10.